Hey guys, welcome back to the channel at Jimmy's Promo, and today we'll be taking a look at the beta Helium Explorer website. Now, this user interface has been improved and refined versus the original Helium Explorer website. So today there's a few things that I do need to show you, not only just this beta website and everything you're able to do. There's actually quite a few cool things you can do with the beta site, but I do want to show you just a couple things with the original explorer.helium.com. I'm also going to show you something when it comes down to HIP 17, talking about the reward scale, because we do need to talk about the reward scale when we are talking about all these different hexes. And when you get inside closer up, you can see inside of this one hex there is 17 hotspots, this one there is 6, this one there is 2, and it's going to make a pretty big difference when it comes down to not only you but other people around you. And then here is the website. I'll place this link below the video inside the description in case if you guys wanted to read this to its fullest. But really the most things that we're going to kind of talk about is a little bit of the summary, a little bit of the motivation, things like that, just so you kind of know that if there is too many hotspots, the density is just getting too high, then you will see a little bit lower reward scale. Even though it doesn't technically mean that you'll really receive less rewards, it's just not at a full reward scale, showing you that you're not, at the perfect distance away, putting you this like whole line of different hotspot to hotspot to hotspot. Again, the biggest thing here is the motivation to spread the network, so this way you're not too close. But we're going to cover all of that here in just a little bit. So first off, let me show you the original site. This is the original site. When you take a look at it, there's a lot of really cool things. I'd have to say when you go inside of this map here versus what we just got done seeing, this one is just, it looks like it's almost, incomplete. It's just little dots. It's actually not as great. You'd have to go to another website to take a look at the hexes, things like that. Now, one of the things I do like about this website is when you go inside of the View Hotspots tab, or the little link that you can click, you'd be able to take a look at the top cities right here, so you can see where you are ranked in terms of your city and how many hotspots are sitting there. Here's the area, the section for all the makers, all the manufacturers, and I like this because it lets me know how many hotspots were really sent out and onboarded, as well as locations asserted, things like that per each of these different companies here. So you can see Syncrobit is finally getting there. There's about 67 of them online and onboarded, so it looks like they have a lot of test units out there. Bobcat has definitely sent theirs off. You have Long AP that's coming. They got 6 there. That's going to be their test units. Same thing with CareLink. They're at 0, and I'm waiting for this one as well. That's one of the light hotspots that I'm pretty excited for. So this is, a couple of things that I did like about the old Helium Explorer. Now, here's a few things you can do here. So first up, on the very top, if you were to click on this little Helium icon, it's going to take you back into home. So if you head inside of hotspots, or if you head into, latest hotspots, whatever, you hit on the home button, it's going to take you back here. You can take a look at hotspots, the block height, market price, but you also have some of those up here as well as links. So here's your hotspots, beacons, blocks, validators, market. And then here's a search. So this way, if you ever want to search for really any hotspot, if you just want to type in the word clear, and if yours had the name clear in there, you can take a look at it, click it, you'd be able to take a look at that information. Now, really, some of the stuff that I want to talk about today, I noticed that there's validators that's coming on, which is super exciting. You can take a look at all the different validators. As you zoom on out, you're going to see these little purple dots. These are some of the validators right there. So really cool to see that going. It's still underneath testnet, things like that. You can take a look at the block height, so you can get some information on the block. You can also take a look at the block time. So 72 seconds for the last block. I'd have to say that that's a little high. It should be closer to about 60 seconds. So if you're noticing some of your rewards are coming in a little delayed, or quite a few hours before something comes in, then you're going to see that. Or if you're noticing some of your rewards are a little bit higher than normal, it's just to kind of average it out. And then you also have the countdown for the rewards halving, things like that. That will take you to the website. You can read everything about it. Now, really the important thing with this newest portion of this beta is, let's say that we scroll on in and we're going to take a look here at Kansas City. Now, inside of Kansas City, you can see that this one right here is just a plain green hexagon. When you tap on it, it's going to show you which hotspot is in that hexagonal area. Now, when you see these blank spots, this is going to be a prime real estate to add in a new hotspot. And you can kind of see the shapes already shaping up right here of where you'd want to place more. When you see the number of 2, that means that you're going to see a couple of them in there. So let me just slow down just a little bit. We're going to head right back inside of this number 4, this little area here. So this hexagon has 4 different hotspots. 2 of them looks like that they're still syncing or they're offline. So clicking on one of these, even though it looks like that there's a few of them that are really close together, the cool thing is that when you tap on a hotspot, you can see their statistics. You can see if they are synced. You'd be able to take a look at their 30-day, take a look at their activity, the witnesses, and nearby. Now here's one that is super nearby. It's 171 meters away. Usually want them to be about 300 to 350 meters away to make sure that you can ensure your full 1 reward scale. But you can see here that they're both in the same hexagon area, but they're hitting different beacons. They're hitting different witnesses, things like that, which means that they are not really repeating each other so often to the point where they would get degraded. Now, if you go into a different hexagon and then you see that some of these reward scales are like 0.8, 0.8, that just means that a lot of these are hitting the same hotspots as the other. So this is just a really cool thing that you're able to do. You can see exactly where you should place. You should put one right over here, put one over here, put one inside of here. Here is your full reward scale sitting right there. The other thing that you're able to do when you take a look at this is you can change the layers. So you can switch it over into reward scale. So over here on the bottom right hand side, you can see that you can target your location. This is your 2 different levels, your different layers. You can do the regular default, or you can go inside of the reward scale. So you can see that inside of this number 7, there's a lot of them that's been degraded down to that like 0.5 for some of these sitting right here. So if you do put in a few additional hotspots, you might get degraded down to 0.5. Now, if you see one that is not this color over here, this is like a purplish color, that just means that there's a lot of them within this area that are still syncing or they are offline. So again, this will only have 1 sitting inside of there. Again, it is either syncing or offline. So when you take a look at the scale, you can really see where you can put some of your hotspots. Now we're going to scroll all the way out over here and we're going to take a look inside of Chicago, because Chicago is crazy. Taking a look at this, there's a spot with 26 hotspots. And again, you can't really control this. But when you take a look at it, some of these reward scales are 0.13, 0.09, 0.04, 0.06, 0.13. But when you look at their 30 days, they got 14, 12, 20, 24. You know, so some of them are actually not doing that bad. And then when you take a look over here, you got one over here that's at 0.2, that's got 47 helium. And again, it really depends on your location and the height of your antenna. Now moving back out away from this density area, let's kind of move right up over here. This one has a good little mix. You have your full reward scale. You see the green, so you're going to see the one there. You're going to have 2 hotspots, both of them at 1 reward. You also have this one right here. They're going to be pretty close together, but one of them looks like they possibly could have been a part of a consensus group. Again, this one sitting right here just means that there's one in there that is syncing or offline. Now, the one next thing I do want to show you, since we talked about this whole hexagonal thing, look at this. This is a perfect shape right here. This is the way you would like to set it up. Look at that. This is looking really good. A really good little cluster right there over in Illinois. So this is what you're able to do. It's a pretty cool website. You know, it's beta. I'll be linking this below the video inside the description if you guys want to take a look at it. Here's Florida if you guys wanted to zoom in on Florida. Now that we talked about this website here a little bit, how about we move on back and let's see if there's anything else that we really talk about. We talked about the block height, market price. You can see what it looks like, the max supply, things like that. So I think you can kind of play with this. I think that's all been kind of shown off. Now that we've seen all of that, this is what it looks like. You can tap here if you wanted to, you know, go into your reward information. But here's that HIP 17 information that I mentioned that we're going to talk about. And I'm just going to skim over it. Basically, the summary is here. The HIP suggests a change to proof of coverage rewarding to better reward areas of coverage. This is done by reducing the rewards earned by transmitting or witnessing hotspots in close proximity to each other. Very little additional coverage is demonstrated by being able to witness multiple hotspots that are co-located or in close proximity to each other. On the other hand, being able to witness many hotspots that are in distinct locations demonstrates a hotspot is providing a large area of coverage This is in contrast to the current proof of coverage reward structure, where transmitters in high density areas see a significant portion of proof of coverage rewards. So really that's just kind of stating that if you're just repeating what another hotspot is doing right next to you, you guys are super close, you're going to get degraded. But if you're in a different location and you're hitting different locations that are what did they say? They were distinct locations, something that is different than the other one, then that means you're going to keep your full 1 reward. So here's that little motivation right here. You want to put 1 in different areas, and it just talks a little bit more about the density target. You also have the density max, numbers, interactive hotspots. You take a look at the algorithm. I mean, there's a lot that's going on right here. And so if you want to take a look at this website, you can skim it, read it, take a look. And so when you come down to this point right here, you can see a few different examples. Here's a few of them that are even more closer up. And so you can kind of see what's going on in certain particular areas, proximity, location, antenna height, things like that. So they do a really good job at explaining it and going over it. So I do highly suggest you take a look at this. Again, I'll place this link below the video inside the description. I'll also place the original Helium Explorer website inside the description, as well as this beta. Now this beta one is just super cool. It's fun to play with, play around with it. Make sure that as you zoom on in, you take a look at all these different hexes. You can see how they're doing, things like that. It's actually really cool. You can take a look at the owner. You can see how many hotspots that they have, things like that. You can take a look at what is nearby. So the closest one to this one here is 833 meters, and then 977 meters, 1 kilometer, 1.2 kilometers. So they're going to have a pretty good run here with their witnesses. Looks like quite a few of them are going to be pretty close. It just happens to be that this one that was sitting right here looks like it is brand new. So they're going to be getting their witnesses probably within just a couple of days. But I hope that you guys have appreciated this video. Hopefully you guys liked this video. If you guys did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to unsubscribe. If you have not subscribed already, you can subscribe on the very bottom left-hand side. And also, too, if you like this video, then you'll also like the other video on the other side. And I'll see you guys later.